Mike. So thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
Could you introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Mike Ryan, and I'm a senior software engineer at Synapse, which is an industrial Internet of Things company where I get to build high-performance reactive UIs in Angular. So I'm also the lead or core contributor for Ngrx, which is this project where we build really concise reactive libraries for Angular. And so during my talk, we'll be hopefully showing people how to take a previously inactive app and introduce reactive programming concepts to it using Ngrx libraries.
And what led you to Ngrx?
So in our applications, like I mentioned, we had this need for high performance. And what we found early on is when you have deep, dirty checking of models, that doesn't scale up well to large data sets. And so one of the first things we wanted to look at is how can we introduce immutable data structures to our application. And so that's the first thing that Ngrx provides, is a way to do immutable state management for your application.
Okay.
The second was, how do we actually notify components of those changes? And that's where the reactive part comes in, using observables to express these state changes throughout your application using immutable data structures. So we had all these ideas and we pulled them together into some really concise libraries that help you follow this reactive, immutable approach throughout your application.
Okay. And what do you think Ngrx provides that Angular doesn't have right out of the box?
So Angular as a framework has all these opinions about how you do routing or make HTTP requests. And what it doesn't give you is any opinions on how you're going to do state management or how you might isolate side effects in your application. So that's where Ngrx comes in. We want to feel like a natural extension of the framework and give you this mindset of how to handle state, how to handle side effects, and do it in a way that's really cohesive with the framework as a whole.
How is Ngrx different from like redux-observables?
Great question. So at a functional level, there's not much difference between Redux and redux-observable than there is to Ngrx store and Ngrx effects.
Okay.
Instead, what we're trying to do is we're trying to take these same concepts that those libraries have already popularized and give developers a great experience for integrating them with Angular. And since we are Angular only, we can really integrate tightly with the framework, and we can couple with it and deliver APIs that would only work in the context of an Angular application.
What do you think a team should think about when they're considering to use Ngrx in their application?
The biggest thing to consider is how much state does my application have, and how many ways can that state be changed. If you're building an application that doesn't have very much state, and that is only updated via REST APIs, Ngrx might not be right for you. But if there's a lot of user interaction, if you are making REST calls a lot, if you are handling WebSocket messages, and you have all these different event sources, that's where Ngrx is going to really shine for your application. So I'd make that determination first. How much state do I have? How frequently is it changing?
And what would you say is the path to adopting Ngrx?
If you already have an application that you've built and you want to introduce it slowly, we totally support that. So you can go ahead and install Ngrx store and Ngrx effects and start introducing new state into the store. It doesn't have to be a complete state management solution. You can do a hybrid approach between what you're already using and the state tools in Ngrx store.
And what kind of feedback are you looking for from the Angular community to improve the library?
We want to know what isn't good about Ngrx. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis that causes you friction when you're trying to build reactive Angular applications? Because those are the problems we ultimately want to try and solve with Ngrx. So if you can give us that feedback, I promise you we're going to look at it and really come up with a solution on how we can make that better.
And what's a good way to reach you to talk to you about this, or to give you some feedback on the library?
So we try to maintain an active presence on GitHub. You can go to the Ngrx organization at github.com/Ngrx. You can also follow the three of us on Twitter, and the three of us is me, Mike Ryan, I'm at Mike Ryan Dev, Brandon Roberts at Brandon T. Roberts, and Rob Wormald at Rob Wormald. Just reach out, send us a tweet, send us a message, open up an issue on GitHub. We will try to respond to you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you for working on it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Hey there. Are you into reactive programming using JavaScript? Do you have to deal with asynchrony in your web app? Then join this instructor Ben Lesh to learn all of the ins and outs of RxJS in his hands-on workshop. Available online and in person, go to rxworkshop.com for more details and to book your spot today. Hey there. Do you use Angular? Do you like fun in the sun? And how do you feel about boats? If you're nodding yes, then come join us on ng-cruise to learn more about Angular while on a fabulous Caribbean cruise. Check out ng-cruise.com for speaker lineup, workshop details, and to book your spot today.